everybody. I'm doing a 60-minute follow-up session for a client. Be sure to check the description if you're interested in checking out previous sessions with this client. Also, there is some incredible feedback, totally worth reading. Usually I read this, but all I can say is I have tried to do an introduction for this session. I don't know how many times now, and I keep getting pulled into the session. I'm going to just accept it as the way that it is. I'm ready. I'm so ready to do your session right now. But before I do it, I'm going to try really hard to at least read your goals out loud. And personally, thank you so much for all your kind feedback, for your openness to share. I've really been touched by all the experiences that I've had with you. And I just really want to make sure that I thank you for that. Okay, I'm going to read your goals, and then I'm just going to let myself get sucked into this experience, okay? It could be a very wild ride. All right. All right. My goals for our 5th session are, we've covered so much territory already, and even more is bubbling up to the surface for us to work on. To help guide us to where we need to go, some of the current sore points are health, nightmares, and continued resistance to taking even small actions to move forward. Let's see where this takes us. Okay. Already just reading this, I'm like, oh man, a lot of squirming going on here. I'm gonna go. I'm getting in the zone now. This is gonna be intense. Just letting all of you know this is gonna be intense. Okay. Okay. Collecting myself. Okay. There's different things going on here. And there's a really big jam in the throat. There's a really big jam in the heart. And I'm looking at a being that is looking at me eye to eye, like super close. And it's got like a really large head, but the head kind of has the forehead kind of pushes forward and then comes back in, almost like a hat, like a bill, but it's like it's large on top. Okay. So I'm just gonna continue to look at this being for right now. I will tell you what, you are ready to break down some hardcore walls here. And even right now, I feel like I'm holding back, but I've got to talk about what's going on so you can understand, okay? Okay. Okay, this is a big deal. This might be what's causing nightmares as well, because they're this weird head. And its eyes are flat in a way. It's like a flat eyes. It's got a very unusual mouth, like very large lips, and then a small slit. And it's got like a fish, like kind of like a fish appearance to it. I'm just having you continue to look at this creature, okay? There's just a lot of stress about it. And I don't know much about it yet, so we're just clearing energy here. Really, like the throat is as clenched tight as it could ever be. The heart feels like it just is a big, dense ball that also wants to burst, and it just can't break. I don't know if it's trying to break down a shell or if it just itself just wants to burst. It just wants to blow up. This being is sending frequency waves directly into your third eye. Frequency patterns. It's almost like it's like at this time, it's not necessarily trying to hurt you. It really is trying to get a message through to you, but it is so ridiculously overwhelming. It could only be translated as just extreme overwhelm. Like it'd be very hard to get the message. So right now I'm just starting to get tremors in my mid to lower back. And it's like very stressful, like quite an anxiety developing here. Like even getting shaky. So we just let it be, okay? Just let it happen. Let it happen. Okay. A lot of screaming wanting to come out of the heart right now. Just letting it out. Okay. A lot calmer now. So let's see if we can continue to look at this being here. He's relentless, and it seems like he's a jerk about it, but I'm not convinced he's a jerk about it. It's just the loud sound of these frequency patterns would be like explosive. Again, it's making my back get really tight, and my mid back, like it's even shaking tremors back there. This is just you releasing a lot of stuff. And I will say, this Mercury retrograde, this blue moon, I have been getting so many intense energetic vibes when I'm connecting to clients. So, I mean, this is hardcore. So I'm just transmuting as much as comes through me, okay? And I'll try and talk as clearly as I can about what's going on next. Again, it's like the tremors want to come back on my back side, but they're softening, like we're gaining some control here, okay? Still a little bit of nervousness, like it's an anxiety feeling. Okay. Okay, you're gonna react. You're really angry. You're so pissed off. I get why, because this is such a loud and painful transmuting of, like, it's forcing information, like it desperately wants you to know what it's saying, but what it's doing is like blowing up your head. It doesn't seem to know that. At this time, it seems innocent to me, but it's extremely painful. Okay. You're trying to tell him to stop, and he just can't stop for some reason. It's getting louder now, and there's turning into like blue lightning bolts that are literally like wavelengths. And there's about 8 different wavelengths that kind of intersect each other and are going directly into your third eye, and it is overwhelming. You're not in the right physical form for this type of communication. It's really hard on you. I'm putting a wall here, and I'm saying no. No, and it's like a reflective mirror, so it's reflecting the waves back into his own head. And I'm saying stop. And I actually write stop on the mirror. And I put energetic frequency in the word, so that way he understands what my message is. Stop. So the frequency pattern is stop. The response to your message is stop. He can't hear you saying that. He doesn't understand that you needed him to stop. I mean, this is terror. This is trauma. And it's stuck on the side of the throat, and the mid to lower back. It keeps quivering and shaking. And like it can't stop. It keeps like coming back, these tremors do. Okay. Again, we are finding a composure here, okay? All right. Now, what appears to be innocent is becoming a little bit clearer. And for me, it's starting to feel like not nice, okay? Starting to feel like not nice. Because he didn't like that I said stop. He doesn't want to accept stop. When they don't want to accept stop, then they have something they need to work on. Because you have a right to say no, you have a right to say stop, and they have to honor that. If they don't honor that, then they're broken, they're not balanced at all. So an innocent communication, even though it is being received as really painful, etc. I put stop. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. No, it's like, you will accept my message. It says, it's kind of like this, okay? And it doesn't like no. It doesn't like stop. In fact, it's getting angry. It's getting belligerent. It's getting chaotic. Like it has really several like really long arms, like 3 on either side, and then really like long skinny legs. But it's kind of insect like. It's also kind of like it makes me think of a water spider in some way. And it's got a blue and white and silvery appearance to it. All right. You are going to feel so much better here soon. You are going to feel so much better. Okay. I'm starting to, I can tell now that I said stop, how truly overwhelming and enveloped you've been in a really chaotic frequency. So getting you out of this and disconnecting and moving this away, you're going to be like, what? Where was I? What was going on there? That's how different you're going to feel here. Okay. All right. This it feels like it might, I'm like, this should happen this fast, but there's, again, tremors coming. Relax, 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 relax. All right, all we can do next, because I'm actually trying to pull you out, but it seems like we're going to have to do this the hard way, okay? The hard way is we're going to have to truly feel everything that's going on, and we have to allow him to express himself, okay? Man, this is going to be hard. This is going to be really hard. So at the conscious level, let's say you're having nightmares. That's what you're saying. I mean, there's got to be so much other stuff going on. But you have a very loud event in your energy field that is extreme. It's on a very extreme level. It's so on the extreme level. Like, have you ever been so scared you just couldn't help but shake? Like, you start vibrating and you can't get your body to stop vibrating? That's how you are. That's how you are in your energy field. You have a very, very loud, very accessible aspect of yourself, of your collective self, because you have so many different aspects of yourself that you work together to create your identity and expression. You're going to have parts of you that agree with stuff, parts of you that disagree with stuff, parts of you that are not wanting to talk about it, parts of you that you can't access because they're too deep, and parts of you that you don't even know what's going on with those parts of you, okay? You're a really extraordinary being. We all have this. It's part of our human dynamic. So you have a very accessible part of you that has been suffering on a very traumatizing level. It's hard to define time. I mean, is this recent? Or has this been a while and now it's ready to pop out? Now it's ready to be exposed, because this is really extreme. Like, this is loud enough that it could derail your life. Like, it could derail the way you feel day in and day out. This could be everything that you're talking about. Because when we're talking about time as well, this event could be like, it could be years of your human life, but be like, 3 days in this energy space, which is quite a long time, actually. It could be. It's really hard to define time with this. It could just be, 30 seconds. Either way, you're quite terrified and traumatized by it, and this is not easy to just simply disconnect. There has to be a level of understanding. When there has to be a level of understanding, there's a connection here. Otherwise, I could just disconnect the thing and send it away. but there's a connection for some reason. We have to understand why. So we have to give him a chance to talk about it. It feels like more on the male side, okay, of its own essence. Feels like a male energy. Feels like it has to do with the element of water. It also has a very loud psychic communication ability. It's kind of like a really big hand, but it can stand upright, and it has like a weird shaped head, like I described. It seems to have scales like a fish, and a silvery looking spider being. And it, all right. So I'm telling you, we're gonna go through this, and all this tremoring and terror and anxiety and all that stuff. This is gonna clear, but we gotta kind of go about it the hard way, which is to feel our relationship with it. Understand this being, give it a chance to talk, and you will find yourself feeling better. You will find a completion with this. You'll find it's time that you can move on now. Man, this is on the loud level. Okay. What is it that you're... What is your what is your point? That's what I'm like, sending him the question, okay, that we need answered. Like, what is going on here? He's hearing that message. Man, this is giving me a stomach ache. He's consuming it in his stomach, and he's tasting it to decide what his answer is. Okay. He's still eating the question. He's literally like eating it. His response is like his jaw gets really long, and he sends frequency waves. They literally look like waves of energy with different colored lines, and it's just like a ah noise. And apparently that's a message. Okay, that's how he says hello. All right, I don't know what it's saying yet, but this is like some kind of normal communication. So let me figure out what he just said. Oh, he's venting his emotions. He's just basically saying, ah! I mean, it just like it's like he doesn't have to breathe, so it's just this continual flow of sound. It's just like vibrating, like I don't know, like hitting your head against a wall over and over again, like thousands of times. And then like let that feeling and that extreme come out in a sound. It's like that. Okay, so he's expressing his feelings. He doesn't want to hurt you, but he really is frustrated. He's really angry. He's pacing back and forth really profusely, like really belligerently again. Like, he can't take no for an answer because he needs you to get this message. Like, you have to get this message. I'm just gonna time him out. I'm just gonna show him that to slow down, please. Like, I'm just stopping time. I feel like he's quite dangerous, to be honest. Only because he's not like, okay. He's not easy to communicate with, as in calmly. He wants to hurt me and you, but he also doesn't. But he's having a hard time holding himself back, and he's just insistent that you need this message, and he doesn't even want to time out. He doesn't even want to just stop so we can actually work through this, because I don't know how we're gonna get the message when you're like this. Like, I straight up can't do it. You can't do it. Like, we can't do it. So we're sending you away unless you can stop. We need you to time out. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to force him to slow down because I'm going to slow down. I'm going to slow you down. I'm going to go back in time when he's venting out this loud sound. It's literally when I slow that sound down, it is as welcoming, as warm and fuzzy as somebody taking some kind of instrument full of spikes and then like a hammer, hammering it into your throat. And the spikes, many spikes go all the way through your throat and out the back of your neck. And I mean, that's about as warm and fuzzy as somebody doing that to you. Because I experience myself being hit with a sharp hammer and I see all these spikes coming out the back of my neck and this blood. And I'm like, it's this horrific thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow it down even more. We're just going to give it even more time, okay? I'm going to slow it down even more. I mean, you could even define it as he's telling you 1,000,000 lifetimes in a single sound. I mean, what are you expecting of us? It's like expecting an ant to become Albert Einstein. Like an ant that is a natural insect that's purpose is to work with other ants to build a colony. Not like an ant alien. Like, we're talking about simple here. Our minds, our energies, what our dynamic is, can't process that. And there's a lot of painful memories in this. But I can't tell if he's expecting you to heal him or if he's asking for forgiveness, or I can't tell what he wants from you. I'm gonna have to do some weird stuff to understand him. Stuff that I really don't want to do, but I'm just gonna step into his body, okay? Just give me a second. I'm going into his face, into his form, so I can know what it's like to be him for a minute. He's being tortured. He is trapped. He is being psychically contained and tortured, psychically tortured. And somehow you're aware, you're picking up on him. He's begging for help. He's screaming for help. The thing is, we can't understand what's going on. So he now is the psycho to us because he's a dangerous being. But what's actually going on is he's screaming for help. But to us, it sounds like blowing our bodies up from the inside. But he's trapped and being psychically tortured somehow. And he's begging to be set free. Help him. Get me out of this. Somebody help me. Somebody hear me. Somehow you heard him. Somehow you're trying to help him. Like, I don't feel like you're necessarily trying to help him. I don't know if he found you. You have soul connection. I can tell there has to be a discovery process in order to truly resolve this. I don't know at what time. This feels like way, way in the past. It's like the light of the stars that is a bajillion miles away. When we see the light right now, it's light that's traveled a bajillion light years ago. You know what I mean? It's like the light we see today is light that is extremely old. Even though it looks like it's in the present, it's in the now. It's like super old light. So it's almost like his screams are like this light that's somehow reaching this present. And it seems like it's coming from now, but this is a super old event. A long time ago, that somehow the screams have found its way through time and now reached you somehow. But also, this event still seems to be existing in time. I don't feel like it's ever stopped. However, it's possible that it has stopped. It had a beginning and an end. However, the screams and the event itself is like a living sore in the universe, and the echoes have to be resolved. Somehow you were chosen, or you chose yourself, or you opted to try to help assist the universe in healing this, and it's been a very horrible nightmare for you. So I feel this is probably creating nightmares. This could be doing anything in your life. And it's hard to understand how long that you've been connected to this and trying to fix this or figure this out. He's... Okay, hold on. I feel like crying. I feel like crying. Like, I'm standing in a cemetery where thousands and thousands and thousands of people have died. And every sorrowful scream that was raised into the stars. The agony of losing love lost. The agony of living without someone. The agony of someone's untimely death. The agony of the babies that died at birth, the agony of the mothers that died giving birth, like the agony, the pain of dying, like the tragedy of death. I hear all these screams at the same time, and that is him. That's just coming from him. That's how painful this is. I mean, it's like universe shattering. Like, no wonder it was really hard to... I mean, I was being pulled into your journey. Like, it makes so much sense. Why? This is going to get hard again. I can tell it's starting to build up, but it's copable right now. But this isn't over yet, okay? So I'm just asking, I need to transmute his pain because I need some guidance here. Okay, let's just see where we're at again. It doesn't hurt me on the human level, but I can feel the soul-ripping terror at the soul level. And I do feel this at the soul level, how absolutely horrific this is. And it's disturbing, to say the least. So I'm just clearing this out. Okay, let me just listen again. See where we're at. See where I'm at here. Okay, this is unbelievable, but I just don't even know how to fathom this reality. Like, I can't fathom it. Let's say you have a life lesson. Learning how to cope with starvation, okay? And your whole life is dedicated to this life lesson. You're going to have moments where you break down and moments where you become stronger. And then you break down again, but become stronger, and then break down, become stronger. You're going to have micro moments, micro upon micro upon micro upon micro moments. And a seemingly, like, let's say you live 40 years struggling with starvation, okay? You have to watch your kids go through starvation. You have to watch your lover. You know you're all going to die of starvation. Like, your lesson is to starve to death. Your kids will starve to death. Your wife will starve to death. Everybody in your community will starve to death. Everybody's lesson, collective lesson, is starving to death, okay? Everybody will collectively starve to death. And there will be moments, micro moments upon micro, all the way down to the tiniest atom of a moment. So you see 40 years of time, you starved to death, you learned about starving to death. That is a very flat, surface level explanation of a horrific reality. A horrific, horrifying reality. Unfathomable reality. But souls do this all the time. Animals do this. It doesn't mean it isn't horrific, okay? It doesn't negate the horrificness. Now, this soul is being tortured and working through micro-atomic level relationships of trying to cope with this. Being broken, stronger, broken, stronger, broken, stronger, but in the end, going insane, basically. But still not dying, still not transitioning, still not stopping, still sane on a level. And the pain and the suffering is just getting louder and louder and louder and louder and louder for infinite time. And nobody can stop this. Nobody can come and help this guy. Nobody can figure this out. Nobody can help the starving souls. Like, if it is their soul's lesson, then that is their soul's choice. And technically, only when divine time comes is it now time for new learning. Divine time decides. Divine time decides. So that is the truth. That is the absolute truth. So humans in suffering is part of the collective experience that God wants to have, as all these parts of the souls that are choosing to have this experience together to understand that experience. Only divine time will shift that. We are also parts of God that can inspire change in the shifting, right? But everything's interconnected. Everything already kind of is, was, and ever will be. It's like, all right, so I just need you to say that because his experience had to be understood on some level, okay? That is a very minimal explanation of what the soul has gone through. That's why us saying, stop it, you're hurting us, was not computable. No, I can't stop it. No. That's why he's going insane. That's why it was like, this guy is dangerous. But what do you expect? What do you expect? I mean, does any of us expect? It is more horrific, like the stain of, like you can fathom, if you haven't walked into a concentration camp, the stain of that dark energy, like the hollow silence of disturbed soul suffering on such an unfathomable level. It's not even conceivable, and yet souls endured this inconceivable, messed up suffering as their reality, okay? I feel like I'm walking into the hollow, disturbing location of where this took place, and it would make anybody want to vomit just like walking into this empty room. But the energy is so loud in here, you couldn't deny it. You couldn't deny that something disturbing happened here. There doesn't need to be a history book. Nobody needs to talk about it for you to walk into that room and to know that something extremely disturbing happened here. You would feel it instantaneously. Okay. Now let me see. Oh man, I'm like looking through his eyes and I can't even believe it. Like, like like you want to ask the question, what the hell is wrong with people? That's an understatement. Barfable. Okay. I don't know how to explain what this being experienced, but it's almost like there's other beings that are basically hollow, but they're how do I want to put this? They have instruments of some kind. It's gonna hurt your soul. Like, it is taking soul and letting soul be felt as an incarnate being, soul, and then it is just allowing the soul to sustain itself for a million years or whatever, not that long, and messing with it. Like, can you imagine being tortured forever? Directly? I mean, it's kind of like an indirect hell here on Earth, but and maybe it feels like that at the soul level, but we're kind of like, I don't know, this is a different level of pain. I've never experienced a pain like this to any soul before, ever. It's so sad. It's like, it's so wrong. Freaking so wrong. Can you imagine the souls, the beings that are watching this earth and seeing the things that happen to humans, and just like, it is so wrong, the horrors that it happened here, so wrong, right? Well, our soul's up for these experiences, It's a divine gift. This soul divinely chose this. This soul divinely chose this. This soul deserves so much respect. Like, the soul deserves, like, I don't know, like, a standing ovation with all of us, our jaws are dropped, like, gawking, like, what? Hashtag, like, what the fuck? Like, no, don't tell me that anybody could ever go through something like that. No. That's how bad it is. They just won't let him go. They just won't stop. It's almost like wanting to see how long they could torture the soul for. How incredibly long. And they just are like these hollow beings that just don't, it's like they can live forever in a way. And I was just, how did this happen? It's like I'm transmuting the suffering of his soul, transmuting the message, transmuting this energy, because it feels like it does have a beginning and an end, even though the screams have lasted forever and they're so loud in our present day. It's as if it's happening right now. It's like the light of the stars. It's not happening right now. It happened like billions of years ago. We're just receiving the billion years old light right now. Like, these stars could be dead for all we know. Like, we're seeing this like old light. He's starting to kind of like become quieter. I'm feeling better, and I feel like I'm okay. Like, my soul doesn't feel like, just, I don't feel this suffering in my soul because of the suffering that he's gone through. I don't feel that anymore because it's transmuted and transmuting. So let's just, okay, hold on. There's the next thing. This isn't as bad, though. This is totally not as bad, but it is very freaky. It's like a hollow being. And believe it or not, my mind translates this hollow being as Darth Vader. We see Darth Vader as having some kind of a soul because, in a way, he seems to love his son, Luke Skywalker, right? But this is the true Darth Vader. This is hollow. This is so hollow. It's like walking. it's like dark, but it is true. It is like freaky dark, okay? I haven't run into this freaky dark ever before, and I have run into some freaky stuff, okay? I'm gonna see if I can heal him. That's all you ever can do. Oh, I'm supposed to just, I guess, just look at him. He's telling me that he needed this soul because they're creating something in the universe. They know how painful it was, but the souls that they capture, those souls opted to be captured by them. And they know the insane pain, but that these souls are gifted them their life, gifted them, gave them love, basically, in order to help them with a creation that would be, I mean, they're creating dark matter in the universe, and they're trying to create a new existence. And we're talking, I mean, it's unfathomable what they're doing. I mean, there is creative force involved with it. There is trying to create the balance of the universe involved in it. There's like a portal through, it's surreal looking. It's a spherical space. When I look at it, it's purple, blue, it's black. But they're kind of like, this isn't a planet. This is it, like, we're creating a new experience of life in a way. But I still don't understand it. It's like for collective dark beings. I mean, because I can't see anything thriving or being able to live in this place. It's like a place just for them. I don't... But he's in gratitude. He's in so much gratitude of the spider soul. I mean, so if he can be in gratitude, how hollow is he truly? Just like Darth Vader, how truly dark was he? He did have love for his son, even if he had to destroy his son. Like, trying to bring his son to the dark side. Like, they're justified because their vision comes from God. And so the souls that they trap or take or do this to are God's gifts to them in order to fulfill this manifestation. And they are doing it, or they have done it. I'm still not understanding. It feels like they feel complete with it. Like there aren't any other souls that they're going to need in order to weave the fabric of this manifestation. They've done it. But I will say I'm starting to get like tremors again, wanting to build up, because it's actually freaky. It's inconceivably freaky to my human mind. I don't know if I can... I'm going to just pause for a minute. This is really hard. Because I can feel the fabric of what they created was made out of this unfathomable screams of a soul. And we're a couple of, like, I don't know, it seems like 5 souls. And it feels like it was made out of torture. Like, what beauty is this? I'm going to choose to be at an acceptance, because that's the only way I can... It's the only way that I can fathom this. I need to hear what I'm called to do about this, if anything. If I'm just supposed to just know this, and it's a test for my own soul, for me, Abbey, to just be able to accept that. Or if I'm called to do something, like heal anything else about this. But now you can understand why you have nightmares. Like, this is, you've been connected to this. I don't get the impression you were one of the tortured souls, but you picked up on it. I still need some time to relax because this is pretty vibrationally overwhelming. So I'm just going to continue to just relax for a minute, okay? Because I have to come to a neutral place in order to hear. I'm still working on that. None of this, I do not agree with any of this. I just personally do not agree with any of this. He's telling me that he understands why I wouldn't. Because I'm not from their type of collective. Their collective was born from tortured screams. So they need a universe where the vibration of that universe is reflective of suffering and pain. Although that is like their mother's milk. And they need that. They need a home in the universe. Okay. Okay, I guess that's it. I'm gonna ask my higher self what else. Higher self asked me if I'd like to see what it's like in their universe. And what was the suffering of these souls was divinely guided by higher selves, by God. I have to trust in the guidance of everything, because as a human I can't conceive of it, because it is scary, because it is hard. It is like an ant trying to understand E equals MC squared. It's like a human trying to understand E equals MC squared. Like, who's Albert Einstein? But you can see how unfathomable it is. And I have to acknowledge that Abbey, I can't judge this because I can't understand it. Therefore, I can't per se disagree with it, because I need to grow still. I need to grow still in order to truly understand this. The only way I can grow is by choosing to trust that everything is an extraordinary gift. No matter how horrifying the screams. I say, okay. I ask my higher self if I can, even, because I don't know if he wants to show me, like, I'm gonna wait for a minute. I'm just gonna go back to you for right now. I just want to see how you're doing. I want to make sure this is done as far as your needs go. My needs I can do some other time. So let's just see. Now you see this, it's a resurrected soul. The Spider-Man, he's like a water creature with really extended arms, legs. Like, he's super benevolent. Like, can't believe that was real. I mean, he's so benevolent. I mean, he is so benevolent. He's like a saint. He's an incredible saint. And you're... Okay, just a second. I gotta shift gears here. I'm gonna just let all of that go. So I can interact with you and the benevolent transformation of what was that tortured soul. You need time to really... You're sad. You're really, really sad. You're really hurt about it as well, because it would only be natural for you to have that reaction. Like, that's actually a very natural, healthy reaction. It's like somebody you love dying and not crying. It's actually very healthy and natural to have tears. It's part of a grieving process. It's very healthy. And so it's healthy for you to feel these ways. It's healthy because it's your body's way of healing from that event, from that experience, because it was very traumatizing for you as well. He is above angelic. Like, I can't believe how incredible this being is. And he said he is a gift. He did do this to help those beings. He chose to live that life. And he'll always have a connection with them from pure love. And he's showing me how in the universe you'll have the balance. So the soul is the gift that helps these beings of chaos to fulfill their calling, okay? They weren't really chaotic. They actually were balanced in their own right. But the fabric of their manifestation was really extremely dark, okay? But also wise, all right? Now, he's the opposing opposite. He's the yin, that's like the yin yang. So the darker you can come across, the most benevolent you can come across. So the only way for God to explore all of God's sides is to go the extra mile, to just do the tortured soul thing for 1,000,000 years. You know, let's just turn it into 1,000,000,000,000. Heck, because once that's over, the rebirth of that soul is like, I can't even believe you exist, benevolent. So we have those extremes here. In order to balance the universe, there has to be this. That's the balance. I mean, there is a very special connection that you have with the soul. And it feels like you have not connected with the soul for a very, very long time. And you somehow heard his screams. And now there's a major healing taking place, and you're able to reconnect with the transformation of this soul. Not what was your memory of the soul, but the soul's presence as a transformed version of itself. So you're able to connect with this benevolent being, this ultra, ultra, ultra off the charts benevolent being. He just touches your third eye. And this touch on your third eye is to transmute all those frequencies, to help you sleep at night, to help you feel rested, to help you feel transformed, rejuvenated, refreshed, bright. it's almost like you still have echoing memories, because in a level your soul knew what was going on. And so I'm still seeing, as calming as this has become, as neutralized and warm and bright and beautiful as this has become, I still see echoes of unfathomable pain. Like it just like echoes all of a sudden, and then echo like, oh, I feel so much better. Terror in my face. Oh my god. Oh, it just disappeared. Okay, I'm fine. No, my god, there it is again. So there's like echoes of it, but you're doing quite well. Man, there's so many really hard echoes to cope with here. I'm just going to let all those echoes, we're putting it in just a big old energy bag. We just tuck all those echoes in there. And I'm just sending them off to the sun. It's the central sun that can bring light to all of those echoes. And those echoes can exist in a place where there's unlimited, infinite, beautiful light and love, support, to transmute that energy. Because you and I don't need the echoes. Nobody needs the echoes. The echoes can return to source. But for some reason, I feel like putting them into the light of the sun is a very beautiful, healthy place. And it brings sunlight to our own souls. I feel like a time of simplicity and peace, like in your life. I just feel like a wave of simplicity and peace is long overdue. I mean, I see eyes glazed into the eyes of a screaming soulmate. Transition into clearing the echoes, benevolent touch. I'm up to date. Now it's like a weird exchange of energy, and I see you almost like hypnotically walking towards like a simple home in the country, and a large beautiful tree, and you're just hypnotically walking towards this tree on a sunny day, and you're just not gonna move or speak or do anything for a while. You just need this for a while. It's like a message about simplicity, healing, and rejuvenation in nature. And it feels like a recovery as well. Because in a way, for you to receive the type of psychic screaming, your soul was trying to help, which means you were interacting with that event on a level, okay? So there's just aftermath of just digesting, just freeing, just transitioning. You feel like marvelously better. Marvelously better. There's still vulnerability in the heart, sides of the neck. And this could just be, again, I've kicked up so much dirt and dust and extreme stuff that this all has to be just transmuted in the bright light of your beautiful soul, and it will be. It always does. So it's like the dust settling kind of thing. So we can access the fresh air and the clear, beautiful sky again. So there's just so much that has happened in the session. So there's just still the remnants of it. Like, so it's still kind of here, but it's being processed. It's being transmuted. A lot of the chaotic stuff, the hard stuff, has been taken out, and this is just the remnants. There's the energy particle remnants. This is natural time. This is a natural processing of what is left of this. And it feels like you need to sleep for a while. Feels like a bit like shock in a way. But it also feels like it's over. It feels a bit hypnotic. Still getting you, trying to get you to feel more natural again. All right, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you to a space. You're going to be in a golden platinum energy space. It's going to be purely angelic, pure love that is going to be here. And this space is disconnecting you from everything that was about. So it has no effect on your human life. And you get to heal and transmute this in a safe place full of love, endless beauty, gardens, waterfalls, beautiful beings, collectives of pure light and love that are going to support your healing transformation process, okay? And you get as much time as you want in here. And as you heal in this space, the healing is also taking place inside yourself. I feel a lot of energetic safety and security in doing this, and just a disconnect from everything we just experienced in order to get you refreshed, to get you back to vibrational balance, so that you can just awaken to the next experiences in your soul journey, okay? You feel a lot better. You feel a lot more natural. You feel a lot better. You don't feel like you're in shock. You don't feel stunned. You don't feel like hypnotized. You don't feel any of that. You feel actually better, like you're getting back to normal. Okay. Oh man, what an extraordinary experience. There's just so much. I mean, there's just so much here, so much meaning. I'm really glad that I could help you with this. I mean, that was a different level of experience. That is a very rare, like never come across anything that, like a being that is psychically communicating on such an extreme level. Never come across anything that extreme ever. I've come across extreme stuff, very extreme stuff. That tops the chart of very extreme. I don't even know what I don't even know what you label that. But just goes to show that we have to accept that our minds, like when we're introduced to unfathomable stuff that we can't cope with, then we just accept that we're human. And we have to trust in our guides. We are our higher selves. Our higher selves are having these experiences. We are guided in every experience we've ever had, ever will have. We are being divinely guided. And we are always a gift to each other, no matter how hard it is. And the transformation that comes from those types of extreme lives creates unfathomably amazing souls. Like, wow souls. Super wow. All right, thank you so very much for this unique, one-of-a-kind experience. Man, you should feel some ripples of change after this. All right, for those of you watching, if any of you are interested in exploring a psychic session with me, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I also have 2 other YouTube channels. One of them is Abbey Normal. The other is Zodiac Energy Readings. So you can come check me out there. I'm also on Patreon. If you're interested in joining my Patreon community, please visit me at patreon.com/abbeynormalswisdomquest. All right. Thank you all so much, and have a very beautiful rest of your day.